name is Britt Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be doing a fall/spooky books recommendation. So, like I was saying, this is some fall spooky, this time of year book recommendation video. I have some graphic novels on here. I have a lot of YA, and I also have maybe a few adult books on here. So, without further ado, because I have a lot of books I kind of want to tell you guys about, I want to jump into them. But also, before we do jump into them, I want to tell you guys I won't be going to the synopsis of each one, because this video would be like 30 minutes long if I did that. So, let's just get into it. So, first of all, we have Tice by Holly Black. This is a fae retelling, and sometimes fae books can be really dark. I don't feel like this one's really dark, but it still puts me into the atmosphere of fae world and dealing with the brutality of the fae sometimes. And Holly Black is the queen of fae, so of course you gotta read one of Holly Black's books during this time. Most people recommend the Cruel Prince series, and I do highly recommend that series at this time of year also. But sometimes I think some of her older books are just as good. Yeah, they're a little bit easier writing and easier to pick up, but this series is so good. So we follow a girl who finds out about the fae world, falls in love with one of the faes, and it's just amazing ride. And honestly, I want to reread this series hopefully soon. So then we have Dark Fever by Karen Marie Moning, and I don't really see a lot of people talking about this series. This is a slow burn romance series about a girl whose sister goes off to Ireland, and then the sister comes up missing, and they can't figure out if she's dead or missing or what's going on. So the sister decides to fly to Ireland because she needs to find her sister, and she kind of gets wrapped up into this world of fake creatures and demons, and it is a fun ride. And like I said, this is a slow burn book of two of the main characters that I absolutely love, and I want to continue on with this series hopefully soon, because I've only read the first two and I really need to pick them up because they're such a great ride. Then we have Kim Harrison's Dead Witch Walking, which you guys have probably seen a lot of recommendations about this book because it deals with faes and monsters and witches and vampires and werewolves, and it's just a great fun ride. And there's mystery involved, and there's pixies involved, especially one little pixie that I absolutely love. And it's the magic system in this is so complex and something that you really don't see. And I know these books are a lot older, but I love the series so much. I've only read the first 4, but I do have plans to hopefully read the 5th one soon. But yeah, this is such a good atmosphere book series to read. There are like 13, and I know the 14th just came out, but I don't think the 14th takes place in the same world or after the series. I'm not really sure about that, but I can't wait to eventually continue on. But this is a highly recommended book for this time of year. Then of course we have The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Everybody on YouTube and their mother knows about this series. So we have a Welsh king, or a dead Welsh king, and we have a group of boys, and Blue comes into this. And even though this has been pitched as Blue can't kiss her true love, and she thinks he's one of these guys, because if she kisses her true love, she's been told that he will die. And even though that's part of this book series, it's not the big thing about it. The characters' backgrounds and details are so well thought-provoking and amazing, and I don't really see this as a love story, even though it is in different ways than one. This book series is so good and highly recommended reading this time of year, because it gets you into that atmosphere, like fall spooky vibes. Even though I don't feel like this is a spooky book, it is well worth trying out. So we have Trial by Fire by Josephine Angeline. This is about a girl who can't really live in her world because she's allergic to everything, and then there's separate universes, and the girls end up swapping, and they look the same, but in one world the girl is very powerful, in the other world she doesn't have any powers at all, and she's allergic to everything. And dealing with, we follow the main character who is allergic to everything, and her understanding of the world is so interesting, and it's like witchy and fantasy and just so fun. So we're coming to our first graphic novel, which is Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell. I love this book. It's really fun, and the pictures are so pretty, and it's about two friends who work this pumpkin patch every year, and you know, why are they not friends out of this pumpkin patch? And there's like a detailed map in this, This is just so fun, and I highly recommend. I love Bramble Rouse's writing, I've come to realize more recently, and this is a fun contemporary pumpkin patch fall festival book and great for this time of year. So I'm gonna try to stop saying that. But next we come to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and even though this is not as good as like the TV series, it's still really fun and interesting, and you deal with vampires and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and just so much fun. A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. We have a witch and a vampire who fall in love and dealing with aspects, fighting their urges for each other, and then dealing with the fact that they just want each other. This is very instant lovey, but you know what? A lot of people give this book a bad rap, but honestly, I love it, and I really wish I could find the second book, because I would love to continue on to see where this book ended, or where the next book picked up from where this book ended. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Karen Maniscalco. I have recently read this book and have fallen in love with all these characters and Carrie's writing, and can you believe, guys, that this is a debut novel by her? I just can't believe that this is a debut novel. So pretty much we have this girl who is really obsessed with the dead and working on the dead, because her uncle is a mortuary, and she's like a mystery solving, and she gets involved with this band of characters trying to find out who the killer is. All these women are going missing and dead, and it's so much fun, and it's set in the 1800s, which was really eerie, and getting to see the aspects of like the candlelight and the carriages and just things like that, it was so much fun, and I can't wait to pick up Hunting Prince Dracula, which is the second book, hopefully soon. But yeah, highly recommend this, because this is such a great fall atmosphere 1800 killer mystery book. So our second graphic novel, this is Naomi by Noelle Stevenson, and I haven't read this book in a while, but this is pretty much there's this evil villain person, and he ends up getting an apprentice. And this girl, pretty Naomi, just kind of shows up, and he has to deal with her, but she wants to kind of learn from him, and she is so much fun and interesting, and getting to see the evilness and the good people, and I don't know, it was just a lot of fun, and I honestly probably need to reread this here soon. Then we have Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. I think this is a very underrated book series. Well, I just read the second book. The third book hasn't come out yet, but I absolutely love both of them. This is very gothic, and it deals with gods and Romania, Russian lore, and the audiobooks are highly recommended by me, because they get you into the atmosphere, mood, and they deal with like the Russian accents that are absolutely amazing. And honestly, the audiobook is so good, because honestly, I probably couldn't have pronounced all the names in this book because they're so complex, but that's what I'm saying. This is very gothic and dealing with blood magic, and everybody is the villain. Like, yeah, you kind of have good people, but you kind of don't. So it's like, who do you root for? Do you root for this villain or this villain? It's really amazing, and like I said, I really think that this book, or the first two books that are out, are highly underrated, and I think everybody should at least give it a shot. So this book might be a little bit controversial, because I know a lot of people like the Netflix series and a lot of people don't. I'm going to go ahead and say I enjoyed the Netflix series of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Season of the Witch. I do really like the Netflix series. I think it's really dark and eerie, and I really like it, and this book is the same way. It's just a written word of the Netflix series, pretty much. It does have a little details different here and there, because you know you have to do that in books, but like I said, I highly recommend this book, and I recommend the Netflix series, because you know what, I like them. So then we have Serpent and a Dove. This is by Shelby Mathurin, I think is how you pronounce that. Pretty much you have a witch and a witch hunter that are bound in matrimony, and that's pretty much where you need to sum up this book. It is so good. Like, the church is against witches, and witches have to hide, and this girl has pretty much taken care of herself her whole entire life, and this boy kind of questions a lot of stuff that's going on, but there's kind of like instant, I don't want to say love, but instant acknowledgement of each other, and it is so much fun, and I am so glad to hopefully be picking up Blood and Honey hopefully soon, and that's the second book in this. I don't know if it's a duology, but I really highly recommend this for this time of year, because it's also set way back and has a good atmosphere. So guys, pretty much all these books have great atmospheres, just like the next one I'm going to recommend you guys is The Wicked Deed by J. Earnshaw. This is about a group of witches who died a long time ago, and they come back and they take possession of girls' bodies, and they end up killing a lot of boys. And it's a lot of fun because we have this one witch girl who, is she possessed? Is she not? What's going on? And the lore of this town is so eerie and awesome, and the island is so eerie and awesome. And I know a few people who don't really like this book, but I'm going to be the one who is on this train, and I love it. And also, this is a standalone book. It's very short, so if this is something you just kind of want to pick up but you don't want to get into the series of it, this is a standalone. It's so good. I'm also going to recommend The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. This is a Frankenstein retelling about Elizabeth Frankenstein, and so much fun, good atmosphere book. I physically don't own it right now. I have read it twice, but I need to really buy this hopefully soon so I can put it on my bookshelf. So the last book that I'm going to recommend you guys is kind of my own personal favorite book this time of year. I have read it the last like 4 or 5 years I've had this book, and it's not something that you can get all the time, but it's a classic ghost stories, and this has little short stories of Frankenstein, Dracula. It even has The Hound of Bakersville, The Turn of the Key, The Lost Ghost. It is so much fun, and the pictures in it are really beautiful, and I don't know, I really love this. And like I said, I usually try to take one story every night during October and try to read it, or I don't know, I had this some way figured out last year. I might have to go back and watch that vlog from last year, figure out how I did this, but I like these. They get me in the holiday spirit of Halloween and the fall season, and I love this book. But this is not something I think you just pick up on Amazon, maybe, but I picked it up at my local Cracker Barrel, which is a restaurant here in the South. And yeah, this is something that I will hopefully keep for a very long time and continue on reading it because it is so much fun. And like if you just want to read one of the short stories, some of the short stories are only a few pages long, and then you can go about your day. It's just really fun. So guys, that's all the books that I have to recommend to you today. I hope everybody has a great fall spooky season reading. If you guys have read any of these books, please let me know down in the comments. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing everybody soon in my next video. Bye!